This is Ahmed Sheikhat, a vlogger from Bangladesh, and I want to talk about Malala Yousufzai, the Nobel Peace Prize winner or laureate from Afghanistan. And she, for the first time, actually came to be a role model for the young girls of the Muslim world in 21st century. In 2018, she got Nobel Prize, and today I'm gonna actually congratulate her for the first time in my YouTube channel. To be honest, we have got too many problems in the Muslim world, but one of the most significant problem is education. We have hundreds of women presidents and the prime ministers in the Muslim countries, but we had no enough opportunities to address the problems of super citizens, educational programs in the women. Of course, it must be addressed that there are some Gulf countries which are empowering women through education, of course, and this must be appreciated or encouraged. But when you come to the question of countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan, girls are still lagging behind a lot, and problems with violence, dowry, problems which are so much acute, and most of the people don't want to actually address these things in our society today, must be actually once again rethought. And I am here to actually talk about and stand against the commodifying women's body. And I have already raised my voice against things like explicit contents on specific sites where girls and women have been actually commodified on global scale. But this is a very big force, because we human beings are supposed to be quite attracted by the negativities of our lifestyle, and nudity and pornographic contents. These have got so much power in human brain, just because it releases dopamine from your brain and it attracts you a lot. And then youngsters of our age who are in their who are from 15 up to 30, they watch these things on regular basis, and they do not know exactly what kind of problems they are actually facing in time to come. Honestly speaking, when you kids do not have the personality or the very consciousness that they are harming themselves, and girls do not get pleasure the way they watch these things on contents, on explicit contents, and their parents, our parents, never did this, did their intercourse in their vets the way they watch these things on explicit contents, and people don't want to say it at any cost, just because it is something which is pretty much personal or private. And this is the very way we are actually not posing the very simple question that in technology you have got more than 60 to 75% explicit contents, and we do not have enough opportunities these things to ban them. We just have the opportunities to raise awareness or consciousness among the youths that of course you will be watching when a boy or a girl is in his 50s or 20s. They will be watching these things, but once they will be watching it, they must get the message in their brain that this is pretty much pernicious for them for long-term relationships, especially when it comes to the question of marriage. So youngsters must be guided by their parents when it comes to the relationships questions. They must be given the sustainable solution like marriage, or stable relationship is also very important. So you can never restrict the youngsters not to have extramarital relationships when they're watching these things online every single moment, just because it's quite easy for them to get connected with the wider world with the help of so much they watch. So I want to actually talk about people like Malala Yousufzai, who are raising consciousness among the young leaders of the world that Islam does never restrict women to be educated. We have got thousands of youngsters in the United States and rest of the other countries where Muslims are getting conscious that Islam does never actually restrict women to be educated. Honestly speaking, the first person to accept Islam was women. The first person to sacrifice life for Islamic cause was women. And so Islam is a religion of women. It's not the religion of men, honestly speaking, even though it is considered that men are the guardians of any family, and they should be, what I say, guiding factors. But it has been misinterpreted and misrepresented to some extent. So many misconceptions there have been in countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, where Islam, some of the verses from the Quran have been misinterpreted, and that's how women have been misguided. To be honest, women have been confined within the four walls of the house, and they have not got the enough opportunities to speak out their minds. So women today confront some basic problems. They confront problems in society, politics, culture, economics, and most importantly in a global perspective. When you are just watching some US senators, and when they did want to say, like, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, these two women, Congress women in the United States, they are speaking so loudly that as women, and as not, we are not white, we are brown, we are actually getting subjugated by lots of factors. So when you are women, you are supposed to be not heard properly. Honestly speaking, sometimes I feel myself very much, what I say, in a very problematic state. Why girls are getting subjugated still when we have so many women leaders like Sheikh Hasina, Begum Khaleda Zia, and lots of other great women leaders in Bangladesh. And even though we had countries like Turkey, Bangladesh, Pakistan, where women were in the prime minister, women were the home minister, foreign minister, women were the house parliament speakers, and in lots of positions. But still, why we have the positions like women are looking for the security, not for the specific quota system through which they will be getting empowered in their specific public services? Why they are not looking for that particular things? Of course, we must address these things. So, what should be actually solved here is that we human beings do not actually know the ultimate consequences of our actions when we copying the very negativities of the Western culture. Of course, West has wonderful things to be copied. Honestly speaking, I am someone who has the very encouragement or respect for the Western leaders, because I'm speaking in a language of English which is spoken by countries of the people of the US, UK, Australia, and Canada. These people have Western culture, and we have a very wrong conception that Western culture is totally bad and nasty and bizarre and weird, comparing with the youngsters of our Bangladeshi as well as Indian and South Asian affairs. Honestly speaking, we always take the negativities of their culture. We don't take that these people are now in the FX level of success. When it comes to the question of education, comes to the question of technology, science, development, and most importantly the infrastructural accomplishments in their countries. But countries in the South Asia, patriarchy has been so much deeply rooted, ingrained, and it's really difficult for us to solve this problem, and we must solve this as soon as possible in 21st century. And most importantly, people like Malala Yousufzai must be more encouraged, and they should be appreciated by all. Thank you so much.